Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining me in McMullen Hall, room 201, that we can all agree is our favorite room of all. Have you ever asked a friend to do something for you and they forgot or simply didn't do it? Didn't make you happy at all, did it? Now imagine that you paid Amazon $30 to deliver the new Taylor Swift CD and they promised to have it to you within 3 days and it never showed up. Now imagine that CD cost $5,000. Would that change your emotional reaction? This is what it can be like for many homeowners when they are remodeling or in hiring a contractor. According to an article on the House Logic website called How Contractors Scam You Without You Ever Knowing, the most common scam reported to the Better Business Bureau is when contractors receive payment up front and then do not perform the work or do a shabby job. As college students, many of you have not had any experience with a contractor yet. However, according to the survey, most of you will hire a contractor at some point in your life. In order for you to better understand the dangers of hiring a contractor, I'll explain the 3 W's you need to ask a contractor before hiring them. Before I begin explaining the 3 W's you need to ask a contractor before hiring them, I would like to provide you with a little bit of background and why this is so important to me. I have been contracting since I was 14 years old and have had many great experiences and some not so great experiences. For the first 4 years, I worked for a general contractor in Clinton, Iowa. After turning 18, I began contracting on my own, mostly for friends and family. Given that I have had 12 years of experience in this field, I have seen all 3 of these issues that I will explain to you today and have seen the damage that they can do. Having said that, it is important to me that I make all of these things known to you, unexpected customers like yourselves, so that it does not happen to you. So what is your business history? This is the first W. This is something you absolutely need to ask. You need to ask how long they've been in business, and are they licensed and insured? As college students, many of you may not think to ask about a contractor being licensed or insured, but it just might keep you from being a victim of a scam. Also, you need to ask for references. This is very, very important when you're getting a contractor. Dan Smith, a victim of hiring an incompetent contractor, said their bid was $2,000 cheaper than the others, and I just assumed that they knew what they were doing. And I hired them. He didn't ask for references, and as a result of this was actually an experience that I had. He had to call me, and I had to come back and fix his roof because it was leaking within 3 months. The next W that you need to ask is, what is your timeline? You need to ask them about a payment schedule. Unfortunately, contractor fraud happens all the time. For instance, in an article on the AVO website detailed the story of Mike in New Jersey losing out on $4,600 after hiring a contractor to replace his cabinets, and the contractor never came back to do the work. Another thing you need to ask with the timeline is, what is your job start and completion date? It's very important to have these things set in stone so you can keep your contractor to it and make adjustments accordingly if that needs to happen. The last W, that one was a little soon. On the News4Jax website, in an article titled "Beware of Contractor Scams After Irma," Richard Gifford, a master carpenter, stated, "It's disappointing as a local business owner. I'd like to pride ourselves and our industry in doing things the right way, and it's frustrating to see at times people getting taken advantage of in these tragic times." Where do I sign is the last W, and this is one of the most important of the W's that I can explain today. Get a contract and be specific with the contract. On the Federal Trade Commission website, posted on June 8th, 2015, in an article titled, "Home Improvement Scams Are No Laughing Matter. details the story of a victim from Sioux City, Iowa, that was scammed by a roofing contractor. The victim stated he bid the job, and we signed the contract and gave him a check for $3,500 for half of the job to pay for materials. He did not deliver the materials, nor did he do any of the work. He promptly cashed the check and kept the money. This is something that happens all the time, and I've seen it being in the industry as long as I have. I've been to homes where they pay somebody and they never come back, and this is actually an issue at my own home right now. I rent a house, and the guy that owns it hired a contractor to do the roof. He had to pay 65% down, and they were supposed to have it done 3 weeks ago, and they have one side of our roof done right now. And it happens all the time, and it's very difficult for me to see, and that's another reason why asking for references is hugely important. If you do not know these people, you need to ask for references. But overall, I would like you to ask all three of these questions, among many others. All of you either have a negative experience with a contractor or know someone that does throughout your lives. Today I explained the 3 W's to ask a contractor before hiring them. My hope is that all of you now have a better understanding of the hidden dangers there can be when hiring a contractor, and now you know a few questions to ask that could save you from a world of problems. Having said all of this, I still want you to know that there are still very ethical contractors out there. But when you go to hire one, heed my warning. Thank you.